Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check it out. All the world's a stage. We got the automated market maker vote. You're going to like it. XRP next price cycle. You're going to love that. And you're going to love this. EU's payment system, SEPA, flipping the switch this weekend. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.65 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 2.4% in the last 24. 66,900 plus for Bitcoin. Quite a retracement here in the market. 3,500 plus for Ethereum. 103.1 billion plus for market cap for Tether. You can see where most of the money's sitting right now. XRP, 61 cents. It's off by 1.5 in the 24 and off by 0.6 on the 7-day. Range of price right now we have at 59.51 on the bottom and 62.98 on the top. We're sitting right in the middle, just under 62 cents. I want to remind you, before the takeoff of the market happens, the ticket sales for XRP Las Vegas are already taking off, and you should join the rest of everyone, the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of others that are coming to this event, and get your room right at MGM Grand. Stay at the facility. Yes. Listen, we all know the MGM Grand is amazing. It is class. It is the pinnacle of Las Vegas. And this is why we have always had our eyes fixated on this property, because it's such a beautiful place. And I tell you what, we're going to have an incredible lineup of people, and you have the opportunity to stay right at the facility, get a discounted room, click the link right there, and get your general admission ticket, because the VIP tickets are already sold out. This is going to be a remarkable event, I tell you that. And I want to meet all of you. There's no question about it. All right, let's get into this. We know John Deaton's going to be on stage at XRP Las Vegas. We also know John Deaton is now a senatorial candidate to unseat Elizabeth Warren. And I think he can do it, but he needs our help, ladies and gentlemen. If you go to johndeatonforsenate.com, you can donate and help him raise the money he needs to bring the power back to the good people of Massachusetts. And we already know he is a proven leader. Then we had another one from inside the crypto space. Thanks to Hodor. And if you're not following Hodor, you should be, because Hodor is an original Ripple XRP OG in this space. Man, is it nice to have you back, Hodor. No question about it, man. This guy is amazing. And so is Bank XRP, by the way, down here sneaking in with a comment. Look at this. 2 OGs up in the house. Give them both a follow. They're great. And I'm glad that they're back. I really am. So Greg Kidd from Ripple, formerly of the Federal Reserve as well, early investor in Twitter and many other amazing things. Let me tell you, Uphold and Ripple as well. You know, this guy will be a great crypto advocate and a leader, no doubt. He has brought many companies to fruition. I know he could do the same for Nevada, and we are personally inviting Greg Kidd to come participate on stage at XRP Las Vegas, and we will work diligently to see if we can get him to attend. We want to help do everything we can to support him and John Deaton alike, no doubt about it. And then here we see China. Let's go to the global stage. Boy, you're going to like this, I tell you. China warns the United States to stop arming Taiwan and cease all forms of official exchanges and military contacts with the region. Now, I just, occasionally we will do the I told you so around here, right? And didn't we talk about this? Once we saw the Russian-Ukraine conflict and then the Israel-Palestine conflict kick in, I said, and you can go back, it's in the videos, I said, watch out for China wanting to take Taiwan, and that this was a land grab as we are moving into this fourth industrial revolution and the introduction of a new monetary system. And this looks like the political powers positioning themselves to make moves and take action for land grabs before the new payment rails are set in motion. I could be wrong, but that's what this looks like to me. And maybe it looks like something else if someone else is not in this space. But, money makes the world go round, right? He who has the gold makes the rules. He who controls the payment rails runs the world. So for me, hold on. Now my Google phone. See, this is what's wrong with phones like this. Why is this thing talking while I'm in the middle of doing it? Look at this. I can't even get it to stop at this point. It's just relentless. I mentioned one thing about China and Taiwan, and my phone instantly comes up and just, oh, did you need me to search something? No, I need you to stop listening to our conversation. This is ridiculous. And it's going to get even worse with this AI business. But back to all of this and the geopolitical moves that are happening. Here's more. Anatoly Antonov, ambassador of Russian Federation to the United States of America, the BRICS group of nations can eventually switch to a new payment system based on digital currencies or use of blockchain. Flip the switch, says AMMs. And Russia has just passed into law the ability to use digital assets for international settlement. And this is absolutely to obfuscate SWIFT, right, and their payment system. This is happening. Right now it is happening. This has always been a reminder here. Russia's president says if oil producers in the Middle East stop using the US dollar, it will be the end of the dollar. And you know what? He's right. However, let us not forget that Russia and Saudi Arabia and a lot of other countries certainly hold a huge position in dollars. But he is right. If they were to drop those simultaneously, it would be devastating to the US dollar. Now, BRICS has been focusing in this last round of new members. What have they been focused on? Iran, UAE, and Saudi Arabia, oil-producing countries. So this statement carries a little more weight knowing that one of those countries, like Saudi Arabia, is involved in the petrodollar agreement with the United States in return for military protection. What do you make of that? This is a clear sign to me that, and I do believe the U.S. is in this as well because they've not said anything publicly about it. Watching someone pull away from an agreement when your responsibility is military protection to that country, this is absolutely happening to the U.S.'s blessing, I can tell you that, or we'd be at war with them already, or we would have a by proxy war with an adversary of the nation that was supposed to be in agreement with us, right? So looking at all of this, what I see taking place is what is an really validation for me that this has always been about the petrodollar and knowing that we have to have something that can underpin the US dollar as the global reserve currency to continue the dominance around the world. And I absolutely believe that Ripple, XRP, Stellar, and XLM are a part of all of this. I really do believe that. And I believe when people say, well, what does the US plan to do? I believe that Ripple, XRP, Stellar, and XLM are going to have a lot to do with it because they're a bridge currency and they could insulate between these spillover shocks that take place if we see these countries do what they are absolutely claiming they plan to do, which is drop the US dollar in bonds. So how could it help? XRP is a bridge currency. How else could it help? XRP Ledger also has a decentralized exchange. And then you could put reserves on there to underpin the confidence of the US dollar, or maybe even a new issuance of a US dollar at some point. And then you could absolutely declare that if the privacy rights of the integrity and design of that are all respected, just like the paper dollars in our pocket, then we can claim that we have the best dollar, which is actually backed by more than just the full faith and confidence of our government, but actual real reserves. How about that for a notion? I think that would give us another run for another 100, 150 years or so, don't you? Maybe even longer. But I love this. Smoke Dog shared this right here. And shout out to Johnny Magnuson right here. This guy's incredible. And go check out what he's doing. You won't believe what he's up to. But look right here. I want to show this. Listed as global protocol by the DLT Science Foundation with some other heavy hitters in the crypto space, worth having a bag to me. I love what he's showing here because he's saying, look, some of these tokens here he may not have exposure to, and he's using this to say maybe I should look into having some exposure to these things. And I say that for myself. But I love this, how they show geographically here where these protocols come out of. And I love that. We know Ripple and all of these came out of the US, and we know that there are some unknown locations here not defined for Bitcoin and some others, right? And then we see here Switzerland has these, Liechtenstein, Germany. I love the way that this is laid out. I have shared this on my Twitter profile if you want to go see it, but I love being able to see where these technologies are birthing from, and just how it will be a multi-chain world after all. A multi-chain world after all. Imagine all these multi-chains tying into something like the XRP Ledger Decentralized Exchange. Well, you could really put that automated market maker to work when it's approved in just a few days from now, couldn't you? And then there's the integration of ISO 20022 technology, the standard messaging, which has been around for more than a decade, but it's been ramped up to be able to bring and introduce the coding of digital assets so you can move the actual tokenized value along with the message, the payment message, right? And it is said here that the industry can move toward the nirvana of cross-border real-time payments, as I just described. So super exciting. It's all coming together. And here is an excellent example of what you need to know. From the former CEO of Swiss Euro Clearing Bank. I'm going to say that one more time. Swiss Euro Clearing Bank. What are banks? What are clearing houses? They're repositories. They are places where value is kept, right? Exchanged, the whole bit. And isn't it so that this is where the largest implication to a network can be found if you have a connection to all of these repositories, as Ripple does here in this example. Recent dynamic developments like Ripple are pushing to establish themselves in the market. Non-banking entities, payment service providers are also reaching for a piece of that payment traffic pie. That's exactly what's going on here. And they've been building the infrastructure to get that job done directly and indirectly through parties for over a decade now. So hugely positive. Then here's the timeline for Europe and the SEPA payment system here, and where they've been at with the MiCA regulation implementation timeline, I should say. So if you go through here, you can see Q1 2024, the consultation package, which really here is the third and final consultation package, which includes MiCA mandates with an 18-month deadline, will be published tentatively Q1 2024. So from here will be an 18-month deadline to get those last remaining things done. So we are in that motion and that move right now, which we understand that this weekend is super important because SEPA switched to the new version, 2019 version, as I described moments ago, of the ISO 20022 will take place today. Today, that's happening. And it will go into effect tomorrow, ISO 20022, excuse me. Could they have come up with something simpler, for God's sakes? Nevertheless, the end-to-end standard is going live tomorrow on their network. And remember this too, you know, that's the EU payment system. And there was a change in the payment system years ago where the EU had made some updates, but the rest of the other areas in payment systems of the world had not made those updates. And it lagged for a year or two. I think it was 2 years on the last major update that SEPA had. So this could be, as I said, this could be something you see happen in these different sectors, right? And then the adjoining of these sectors outside. So I would think you see it happen within their payment rail system, and then you start to see the connection to others who have done it inside their payment system, and then that cross-border connection as well. That's just the way it feels like it's rolling out in phases, which would make a lot of sense. Then there's this. Boy, how exciting is this right here? What do we got? 5 days. 5 days from now, the automated market maker is going to go live on March 22nd, 2024. Remember, David Schwartz said Google has Earth, Apple has air, Amazon has fire, and Ripple has water. March 22nd, 2024, it just happens to be World Water Day. And everything that Ripple does and names is really based around water. Remember that? Everything. Ripple, Swell Conference, right? I mean, it's all right there. Listen, I tell you, that's super coincidental to me. Not really. I said, hey, digital asset investor, this one may need to go into all the world as a stage folder. There are no coincidences when the automated market maker becomes a permanent amendment on March 22nd, which also happens to be Water Day. XRP has drops, right? I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. This is just super cool and super fun. How exciting it is to follow this entire space and everywhere that it's going. Now let's take a look at this. And how exciting will it be if we hit to $5 to $10 range in the next XRP cycle? Oh my, oh my. A lot of people think it can't happen, but when you look at what he's explaining here, as Nick Crypto Crusader says, you're looking at the idea of a $500 billion and $1 trillion market cap between $5 and $10. And is that so hard to believe? Bitcoin's got over $1 trillion market cap, and they're not solving any cross-border problems. I'm not hating. I got exposure to Bitcoin. I've been tickled to death with what Bitcoin's doing, right? Regardless of what I know about it. But again, these are different things. They serve different utilities, right? Different purposes. So super excited about what could come. And obviously I have always believed that XRP can go to 4 or 5 digits plus. And the reality for me is that I have built a plan, and I've been in this space long enough to build a plan that my wife and I can take profits scheduled at a much lower price, like this cycle, if we choose to, or not, right? And then also have that ability to wait for the long haul and not damage the position that I want to experience that reward at a long haul, but be able to enjoy some profits along the way, which I have not done up until now, which is very hard to do, but I have been better for it because of dollar cost averaging and continuing to do the research and build out my portfolio as I think is necessary. So I hope you guys have the opportunity to do the same and take a moment to reflect on where you are, because it is a personal individual decision for each one of us where we take profits. And again, there is also the exciting news in 5 days that when automated market makers hit the scene and become a permanent part of the XRP ledger, that you may not have to technically just sell. You're going to have to sell your stuff into an automated market maker and be issued, or give it to an automated market maker and be issued liquidity tokens in return. So it's not like staking at all. It's quite different. So there are some real possibilities where you could get returns forever, right, inside of a liquidity pool, and they be ongoing, and you not necessarily have to really release your assets like in a sale and get hit with capital gains in that regard. So there's a lot of exciting stuff coming to the ledger in ways that you could help facilitate and support the network, and we are excited to cover those as it develops, and it starts in just 5 days. So super excited about that. Now we're going into the Freedom Zone. Listen, I hope you will join us today in the Freedom Zone, because we are going to get into a very, very important event that took place on January 6th. And we have some new video for you to see, or maybe you have seen some of it, but it's important nonetheless, so you can understand exactly what the corporate mainstream media are not showing us. That is so very important, because it is more important for them to help carry a narrative and try to divide us all. Because the worst thing in the world they could ever want is for all of us to start to come together. And we're about to do that, and you can too. Join us at digitalperspectives.com in the Freedom Zone. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Come on in.